Over the years, I've written quite a few Python apps that use Celery, and in the beginning, I used to waste a ton of time building these apps. I used to waste time because I didn't use the 3 tools that I will show you in this video. So if you're interested in making your Celery projects easier to work on, and you want to watch this video to learn the 3 easy tools that you can put into your project to make sure that it's easier to develop, easier to debug, and it will also give you the confidence to know that everything is working in production. So let's get into it. So I have this very simple Celery demo here, which just runs tasks in the background. So these tasks don't actually do anything, but sometimes you want to know the status of the tasks as they're running. So this is probably more useful in production, although it can be in dev. So I clicked on this long running task here, and it basically is supposed to run for 30 seconds. So how am I supposed to know that this is running and that everything is working properly? Like, how do I know? So there's a tool that you can use called Flower that you can install, UI that you can use to view all of your apps. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to start a new terminal. And let me cd into my project directory here. So first you just need to install Flower. So uv add Flower, it's spelled flower. Flower or flower, you can pronounce it either way, but uv add Flower or Flower. And then once you have it, you can use your Celery config to start it. So I'm going to do uv run Celery-a project. So this part is the same whether I'm using a worker, Celery beat, or Flower. But instead of having worker here, I'm going to use the word Flower. So once I run that, it's going to detect my Celery setup. So I have these tasks defined in my project. So always failing task, delayed task, and long running task. And then it gives me a URL here. So port 5555. And now if I go back to my browser, localhost 5555, I get this screen here. So this is already set up and it detected my Celery configuration. So I can click on my worker and get information about the worker. And then I can click on tasks up here, and then I'll be able to see the tasks that I have. So because I started Flower after I started the task, it doesn't know all the tasks that I ran before. But if I hit run task here again, refresh here, I see that I have my task, I have the ID for the task, and I have the state. So we see that the task has started. If I refresh again, it's still in the started state because this task takes 30 seconds to run. So after 30 seconds, it will change status. So let me run this other task, always failing task, so we can see that as well. And then we see this task has a failure. So if I click on the task here, I can see the traceback, and this is basically a task that always raises an exception. So we see this task always fails. So it's not really important what the error is, but what's important is you can see that there was an error very easily from the screen here. If I refresh here, we see the first task that I started is now a success because the 30 seconds is up. And then I also have this delayed task where I can schedule a task in the future using ETA. And we see it says receive. So it hasn't started yet because it will start at some point in the future. Once that point is reached, then it will change to started, and then it will run, and then it will either end in failure or success depending on what happens. And if you have retries as well, you'll be able to see that it's retrying a particular task. So this is really useful in production because it allows you to see what's happening with your task at a glance. Now you can replicate this with the Celery backend and maybe using some libraries like in Django. There's the Django Celery results, I believe, but I think this UI is a lot more helpful for seeing everything that's running in your project. And also it works for any project. It's not a specific framework library. This Flower works directly with Celery, and doesn't matter if you use Flask, Django, or just Celery by itself, you'll always be able to have a screen like this to see what's going on with your task. So having this is going to save you a ton of time in production because you'll be able to quickly see at a glance if your tasks are succeeding or not, or if they're just running in the first place. So I really like this Flower. And you can set this up in production. You can just set up a reverse proxy to port 5555 and then have this set up. You want to add some authentication, of course, but the idea is this is pretty easy to set up. So the next thing I want to talk about is automatically restarting your Celery worker every time you make a change. So it's pretty common in a lot of frameworks to have the ability to restart the server every time you make a change. And this is really useful because as you make changes, so let me show you the terminal with Django. If I just go in here and hit save, it will restart the entire Django server and I can immediately test my changes. But the thing is with Celery, that doesn't happen. Celery doesn't restart when you make a change because it doesn't have that functionality built in. So what you can do is you can use a library called Watchdog, and then you can run a command that will basically watch for changes in particular files. So we're concerned with Python files. And anytime it detects a change in those Python files, it will restart your Celery worker for you. So the command is uvx. So you need uv. But you can use this without UV. You can use pip, but I just use UV. So UVX to run something directly. And because of the name of it, because the name of the command is different from the name of the library, you have to use -- from. So the library is called Watchdog, and the command is called watch me do. So watch me do. And then you have some other things that you need to add here. So auto restarts will basically say, restart when this condition is met. And then we're looking at the directory. So the directory is just the current directory. And then the pattern is going to be any Python file, right? And if I just continue the autocomplete here, we see recursive, meaning that it will go into the child directories and look for Python files there as well. And then after that, we have the command that we want to restart. So the command is uv run celery-a project worker with info. So this is the typical command that you use to start Celery. So by having this here, enter, it will install it really quick, and then it will start Celery. So we see Celery is running, the worker is running here. Now if I go to my views.py and hit save, see that it does the warm shutdown, and then it's going to restart again. So this is really nice because I've wasted so much time making changes to one of the tasks that I have defined in a project, and then I forget to restart the server. So what will happen is I'd be testing the old version of the task, and I wouldn't realize it for quite some time. This watch me do command running for you, you'll never have to worry about that again, because every time you make a change to your code, it's going to automatically restart. So you'll always know that you are working or you're looking at the latest version of the code. The last thing I want to talk about is Sentry. So Sentry is a service that you can use, and there's a library associated with it that you can install and add to your project. So here in my Django project, I'm using the Sentry SDK init. And I'm just passing in the DSN that they give me. So I'll show you the Sentry dashboard in a second. The idea behind this library is you can use it, alert you when there's an exception. So if you have a basic web app where the users only interact with the app directly, so everything that happens in the app is basically triggered by users, then if something goes wrong, if there's like an error somewhere, then at the very least, your users will be able to tell you. Now, you may not have logging set up, you may not have alerts set up, but at least your users can tell you working, or you can see it yourself when you're testing. But when it comes to tasks, because they run in the background, you may not know that the task failed. Like there may not be any front end feedback to tell you or your users that a task failed. So Sentry is really nice because it will detect any failures in your tasks and alert you. So let's go over to Sentry to take a look at the dashboard. It's already run this task that fails, so we'll be able to see it on the Sentry dashboard. So I'll just go to sentry.io. I'll put it on this platform project. Make sure that it's set up properly. So this DSN is from an old project. So let me go ahead and create a new one. So let's go over here and create a new project. Create project, and you'll see that it's very easy to set up. So I'm using Django, so I'll just select Django here, and then I'll just use the default settings here. And once that's done, I'll just take this DSN and I'll put it in my settings here. All right, so this DSN is for the project, and then I'll restart everything just by saving from Watchdog. So now if I go over to the demo and I run the failing task, this should have fired the failing task. So we should see it on Flower. So failure here. And now if I go over to Sentry, it should pick up on that failing task. So it hasn't picked up on it yet. Otherwise, it would show me the other screen. So let's just wait for that to appear. It should just take a second. Here we go. I hit refresh too quickly. But here we see this task always fails.
And the idea is it's going to be here on the dashboard and it's going to give you all this useful information. As you can see, this is similar to what you would see in Flower, but also it's a lot more detailed. It will give you like the context. It will give you the values of the variables at the time that the error happened and a bunch of other information that is very useful for debugging. And it will also email you as soon as it detects the errors. You don't have to be on this dashboard always checking for something. It will alert you and then you can go figure out what happened. And this is really nice because, like I said, there's nothing that tells a user that a task failed. So the only way you would know is if something alerts you. Sentry is the easiest way to set up alerts that I've seen in a project. So those are the three things that I wanted to show you: Sentry, Watch Me Do, or Watchdog, and then also Flower. For this video, let me know if you use any other tools, because maybe I can cover those in a future video on how to be even more productive in your Celery projects.